morning, good morning. Who do we got in the house? We got our brother Scorpio Retro in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. We got brother Paul in the house. What's happening?
I say what's up? I say what's
up? We got brother Daniel Lugo in the house. What's happening, Daniel? Brother BMC is in the house. Come on through. Let me get a sip of water. Brother Damien's in the house. Come on through, Brother Damien. We'll be seeing each other in a couple hours. Brother Alvin is in the house. Come on through. I miss my peoples, man. I miss my peoples. Took a week off from the live stream. Much needed, but I miss my peoples, guys. I miss my peoples. Brother Damien, Brother Paul, Brother Scorpio. Brother Alvin, what's happening? The UK investor. Come on through. Drummers in the house. Come on through. Miss Wade is in the house. What's happening? Guys, come on through. Come on through. I need to give myself one more extra minute. Just enjoy the music right now, but while I get myself situated. Oh yeah, we ready. We are ready, guys. It is January the 21st. That's what I meant to say. I was going to say January the 22nd, but guys, it's January the 21st. Happy Saturday, happy Saturday, happy Saturday. Thank you and welcome to another Black Heights show today, man. We are ready for the live stream, guys. I've been gone for a week, man. I've been gone for a week. I have had to travel over the last 2 weeks. Some personal travel and some business travel. And I needed to take a weekend off to spend some more time with the family. Much needed. That's why I wasn't with you guys last weekend. But here I am this weekend, back to the grind. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. It's been a wonderful past couple of weeks, but a busy past couple of weeks, man. You know, I had some big goals for 2023, and we've gotten off to a strong sprint out of the gate. Strong sprint out of the gate. But I'm going to tell you like this, guys. When you are grinding, hustling, getting it done, you just got to make sure you take care of your health. You also got to make sure you are taking care of the people that you are responsible to take care of. And That's very important. That's very important. So when you are running out of the saddle, your body may start to deteriorate a little bit. Your health may start to deteriorate a little bit. Just make sure you have the warning signs. You listen to yourself, you listen to your body. I mean, last night, let me put it like this. I was so tired after this crazy week of travel I've had that I went to bed around 7 o'clock. Woke up around 9:30, had a little bit of dinner, went back to sleep. Got a good solid 10 hours of sleep. Get a good solid 10 hours of sleep. Woke up this morning well rested, but I needed it. My body was like, hey, you know what? It's time for you to catch up, man. And that's what happened last night. But anyway, enough about me. Enough about me. Today we're going to be talking about layoffs, guys. You've seen it. You've seen it. You've seen it. Man, so many companies have been announcing layoffs at the beginning of January. And I told you guys, if you've watched this show, I said January is going to be a bloody month. A bloody month. Why is it going to be a bloody month? Because companies are looking at their to-do list for this year. It's no different than you personally saying, what am I going to get done in 2023? Maybe it's improving your health. You start to go to the gym to, lose weight or build muscle, whatever it is. Well, companies do the exact same thing. And that's what happened in January, which makes it a pretty bloody month. And especially for the big tech companies, you've seen it. Microsoft just released that they're going to be laying off 10,000 employees. Alphabet, job cuts. All this in this week. Brutal for the big tech giants that exist out there. Okay, Google announced 12,000. Microsoft, 10,000, right? You got Meta, 26,000. All these companies are laying people off in 2022. But that may scare some of you guys. We talk about tech on this channel all the time. We talk about how you can get to the bag in tech. And all these layoffs are frightening some of you guys. Antoine, you always talk about tech and how we should get in tech, but all these layoffs happening right now at this time, man, I don't know if I should make the switch. Well, let me also tell you something, guys. Just because big tech companies are laying people off, IT and roles in IT continue to flourish. This is just big tech companies. And we'll get into this. We'll get into the big tech companies laying off people and what it means for you. I don't want for it to scare you guys at all. I don't want for it to scare you guys. I want you guys to continue to get into tech in 2023. I want you guys to continue to level up in 2023. And we're going to be talking about that today. Okay? That's what we're going to be talking about today in this show. I got a couple things I'm going to do on the title bar. Microsoft lays off 10,000. We're going to talk about good attrition. What is good attrition? Well, we don't know what good attrition is, but that's what companies are calling it when they're letting go their underperformers. We're also going to talk about the demand for tech jobs and how it continues to grow and who's hiring here. Who's hiring here? Okay, so guys, I want to do a quick couple of shout outs. I want to shout out Brother Paul. Brother Paul started his LLC, reached out to me for some guidance. He already has his LLC established. He already has his consulting company established. If you want to get into sales engineering, go ahead and book a session with Brother Paul Healy. He has a website up. I'll have to get the website, but Paul, you can drop it in the chat. On his way, drop it in the chat. Otherwise, you're part of the Black Heights Patreon. Paul has shared that within our Discord. If you want to become a software or sales engineer, a sales engineer, there's none other than Mr. Paul who can actually help you get there. He's been a sales engineer for the last 8-9 years, and he's helping people to become a sales engineer. Go and check him out. Shout out to Brother Paul for reaching his goals and starting his business in 2023, getting it done, okay? We're going to shout out Brother Malik, continues to level up another certification in WGU, outstanding student, okay? We're going to shout out our Brother Brandon, who also is getting into moving on from an entry-level role to another sales role as an account executive, getting promoted and so forth. We want to shout out our brother Marvin, who's been getting tapped by recruiters to take on additional roles in sales and to make more money. Him and I are going to be speaking on tomorrow on what it is that he should do. He's getting tapped on the shoulder right now by companies who want to hire. And we started off the show talking about layoffs, but we also are going to talk about, hey guys, you know what? amongst these layoffs that's happening, companies are still hiring individuals, shooting out message to me because, some of these not major tech companies like the Facebooks, the Metas, the Googles, the Microsofts, and so forth, they're looking for top talent and they're still reaching out to people to hire because they did not choose to hire so much when the COVID economy took shape in 2020 and 2021. Whereas you have some of these big companies like Microsoft who hired 40,000 people from 2021 to 2022. That's a lot of people. Some of these smaller tech companies chose not to do that and maybe stayed the path that they've stayed before COVID. 5% increases every single year from a headcount perspective. It didn't ramp up 20-something%. And what you see is that these companies have been more stable. They are not the ones that are laying off people like the Microsofts, right? You think about this. Microsoft from 2021 to 2022, Microsoft hired 40,000 people. Okay, so even after the recent layoffs that they are doing with 10,000, they're still up 30,000 employees from the COVID time. Okay, that's a lot of freaking people to bring in during that time. No wonder, the tech economy took shape during this time and everybody started talking about how they was making so much money, getting paid $200,000 a year for doing absolutely nothing, and all this quiet quitting took shape because you got some of these big companies that hired 40,000 plus people in a year. You got Alphabet that hired, increased their hiring by 33% in between 2021 and 2022. Now they're laying off 12,000, but they're still up a good amount. You got Meta who hired 26,000 employees in 2020 to 2021, and it only cut, 12,000 or something like that. They're still up another 11,000 people, okay, from that time. So what you notice and what we're seeing is that these companies overhired during that time, sucking up all of the talent, getting, all these people thinking that everybody can make $200,000 a year. Everybody's on TikTok talking about, oh, my job is so easy. Let me show you what a day in the life is like. Yeah, your job may have been easy, but now you're looking for a job. Okay? Now you're looking for a job, right? These companies overhired. So that's what happened, guys, during the time. And that's why you're seeing this in complete tech bloodbath. It's a combination of a couple of things. Companies overhiring, big tech companies overhiring, that is. Also, it's the time of the year where everybody starts to look back at, what went right in 2022, what went wrong. Let's look at new budgets. Let's look at new strategies. Let's look at new things. And some of the times it's like, all right, well, we need to replace this person, or we need to replace this team, or we need to replace such and such. And that's why you see the bloodbath that's happening. But you also are seeing that companies are still hiring. How do I know that? Because I'm getting tapped on the shoulder. How do I know that? Because some of my ladder climbers are getting tapped on the shoulder and they're telling me about it. Okay, let's jump into Microsoft, guys. Microsoft major layoffs proves that no tech giant is going to get away from this market downturn, guys. Microsoft is the latest tech giant to have major layoffs with the plans to cut 10,000 employees. Yes, that's 10,000 employees. I wouldn't have thought that Microsoft would have done this, but they did. And they waited till a little bit later to do it. Okay. But Microsoft has joined the group of tech giants conducting significant layoffs. The company announced Wednesday that it plans to cut 10,000 jobs, amounting to 5% of its workforce over the coming months. Okay. This is big. This is big. This follows Facebook, Amazon, right? Meta. They are joining the list. Only people who haven't announced layoffs yet as these big tech giants. Apple. Do you think Apple is going to do it? I think Apple is going to do it as well. Or maybe they won't, because maybe they didn't hire as many people during 2020 and 2021. But while the cuts aren't a huge surprise and have been anticipated by employees and Wall Street, it's the latest sign that likely none of the tech giants will be immune from the market downturn. Microsoft, Salesforce, Amazon, and others seen years of enormous growth and hired tens of thousands of new employees during the last 3 years. Now they seem to be hitting a wall, analysts said. And Salesforce and Microsoft and other business-oriented tech companies see their customers cut IT budgets. They anticipate shrinking revenues, cost cutting, perhaps another round of layoffs. Okay? These companies are like, companies are tightening their budget. IT strategies are being adjusted. We don't have, the money is not being spent like it once was in 2020 and 2021. What do? Revenues are shrinking. We need to look at profits. How do we look at profits? We look at the revenue and look at what expenses we have, operating expenses, and try to limit those as much as possible. And some of us aren't revenue generating. And a lot of us will be cut because we aren't revenue generating. That is why I talk about sales all the time. That's why I talk about sales, because if you're in sales, you're revenue generating. Do you think 10,000 of these employees, what percentage would you think that are sales employees? Very little. Very little. Very small. Because those guys can be measured. Now, if you are in sales and you aren't performing, you probably were let go a while ago. But if you're in sales and you're performing, you aren't being let go in this round of layoffs. You aren't. These are going to be operating roles, recruiting roles, support roles, low performers that are going to be laid off in this round of layoffs at Microsoft. Okay? Let's jump back to it. It's a strategy that will help these tech giants weather the ongoing downturn and come out on top. These companies are like, all right, you know what? We don't know what the future is going to hold the next couple of years. Everybody's talking about a global recession, not a U.S. recession, a global recession. Less spending across the entire world. If you are a global company like Microsoft, Google, and those guys, they're like, we got to prep for this. We got to prep for this. Okay? That's their strategy. Microsoft's layoffs also bring attention to the fact that the only tech giants that have avoided significant layoffs this cycle are Google and Apple. Those are the only two that really have not laid off a whole bunch of their employees. Apple has dodged layoffs, but there's a limiting hiring freeze in place that could last until September. During Apple's Q3 earnings call, CEO Tim Cook said the company will be deliberate in doing so in the recognition of realities of the environment. So they're saying, all right, we're not hiring anybody. We're not bringing anybody in. If we hire somebody, it's going to be quiet hiring, giving people additional work inside the company, pay them more. That's something I want to talk to you guys about today as well, is these companies. And if you are working for a company, if you're in tech right now, you're probably being asked to do more. You're probably being asked to do more. I've been asked to do more. Well, if you're being asked to do more, you should be asking for more money. As a career coach, I advise, if you're being asked to do more, this is the perfect time for you to ask for more money. And companies are going to be willing to pay you more money because you're doing more. If you're getting another project, if you're taking over another team, ask for more. Many of us are just scared to ask for more. Many of us don't get to that mega bag that we want to get to because we are afraid to ask. What do you think a lot of the times when we talk about gender and pay equality? Well, the people who get paid the most, a lot of times they ask for it. The people who are underpaid, a lot of times, it's because they don't ask for it. So if you're getting handed additional assignments, additional work, which companies are doing right now, they're quiet hiring people. No more quiet quitting, quiet hiring people. And that is when a company says, you know what, Damien, I know you got this big project going on, but we have another project that we want to give you that has company visibility, and I need you to take this on. In that situation, if you have the bandwidth to take it on, Why not? You're going to get the recognition, company initiative, but why not also ask for more money? Maybe you're making 150 right now. Let's get a 15% raise. Yes, I'll take this on, but how am I going to be compensated? And if you don't have the bandwidth, what can I get rid of in order for me to take this on? Those are the conversations you need to be having with your manager, because if you're taking on this, you're stressing yourself out. At least at a minimum, you should be getting paid for it. So start having these conversations, guys. Start having these conversations with your managers. Let's get back to the topic, though. Google's parent company Alphabet did have layoffs in Virality in health science division, but Google itself hasn't seen major cuts at all. However, employees are anticipating, given that the CEO, Sundar Pichai, said it's tough to predict the future when asked about layoffs in December. While analysts are hopeful that these cost-cutting strategies will help in the long run, in the short run, they're anticipating things will get worse before they get better. Okay? You're also seeing that these leaders in the C-suite are bringing down their quarterly and yearly revenue estimates even more. So these numbers, you're going to see a whole bunch of stock prices going down. You're going to see a whole bunch of that. Why? Well, companies aren't able to hit those numbers. Missing revenue by X%. That's what's happening. But let's talk about this. Although these big tech companies are laying off, the demand for tech jobs continue to grow. The hot tech market is finally cooling off, or is it? Or is it? I don't think it is cooling off at all. Companies outside of big tech are scooping up tech talent to develop their tech infrastructure. Let's talk about it. In the world of big tech, there have been many hiring freezes and recent layoffs. You guys have heard. But there's not a slowdown in information technology. What you're seeing right now is the redistribution of skilled talent. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the redistribution of skilled talent. When you got companies like, Microsoft hiring 40,000 people in the span of a year, a lot of those people need to be distributed to different tech sectors or different companies that have tech in it. Because you think about it, tech is the backbone of just about every single company now. So you could be in healthcare, automotive, oil and gas, and so forth. When you think of tech, a lot of the times you don't think of those type of industries, but every single one of those industries have tech talent, and they need tech talent. So what you're seeing is big tech, the Facebooks, the Amazons that are laying off these people. A lot of these talents are just being redistributed to other industries, like healthcare, like pharmaceuticals, like finance. That's what you're seeing. Current layoffs and cooling off in IT hiring are a drop in the bucket amid a global shortage of IT talent. There's a global shortage of IT talent, guys. A global shortage. So if you find yourself thinking about, I shouldn't be getting into tech, understand that the reason why we're pushing you towards tech on this channel is because there's a global shortage of tech workers that exist out there, meaning that you're going to find opportunities to land a job in tech, even if it's outside of the country or working for a company that is not headquartered in the United States, okay? 3 major jobs in the ICT industry are software developer or engineer, user support specialist, and systems analyst. Other positions include project manager, system engineers, system administrators, and network engineers. All of these roles are needed across the globe. Okay? If you think about it globally, there has been a shortage of tech workers for a while. Management consulting firm Coin predicts that we'll be short over 85 million tech workers globally by 2030. That's a lot of freaking people. 85 million across the entire globe. That's 8.5 trillion in lost annual revenue. Since this technology is rapidly becoming a fundamental element in every operation within any company, there will always be a shortage of highly skilled tech workers, no matter how many companies hire and pay more. There's a job out there for you guys. 85 million tech workers by 2030. That's why I push management information systems. That's why I push the STEM. That's why I push mathematics and so forth on this channel. As you get into tech, you learn basic skills. You're going to have opportunities, not just here in the United States, but across the world. Opportunities for employment, opportunities to make a whole shitload of money. You get into sales, like Uncle Antoine are telling you guys to do, you're going to make some big money. You're going to make some big money. Our brother AI and me are going to do a show this upcoming week. I'm thinking of Friday. This upcoming Friday, we're going to do a show and we're going to collaborate and talk about artificial intelligence. And one of the things that I'm getting very used to now is this whole chat GPT. And I've been asked a couple questions because we've been pushing, sales and other IT related jobs. And I've been asked this question a couple of times in my YouTube comments. Hey, Antoine, is AI going to replace tech sales? Is AI going to replace customer service? Is AI going to replace, the role of a network engineer and so forth? I can tell you this right now, AI will not replace tech sales. AI will not replace customer service. Why? There's too much of a human element behind it. When you're selling, it's not about giving the right answer. It's also about how you make people feel. It's also about, can you be trusted? It's also about, do you have the ability to build relationships? Do you have the ability to negotiate? That can't be replaced with AI. That can't be replaced with AI. But we'll be talking about that on Friday. My brother AI and me will connect this Sunday. We'll get something scheduled, and I want you guys to tune in for that show. But let's get back to the topic at hand. The fundamental demand for IT continues to grow. There's too much work worldwide to build new digital products, rebuild old systems, take advantage of cloud technology, and automate human-dependent processes. Tech job postings are higher by 25% this year for aerospace, finance, and healthcare companies. They are vying to hire more tech talent. Not only that, the government, the US government, as one would say, Uncle Sam, is looking for tech talent. Since 2020, tech talent worldwide have been finding work in Canada, specifically Toronto, Vancouver. One reason of this could be that the Trump administration's tricky immigration policy. Why jump through hoops to work in the US when you can work in Canada? Right? What other sectors are going to be picking up some of these talent that are being laid off or that you can go into? That's why, a lot of the times when I have a lot of the, some coaching calls and the individuals, dead set on working for some of these big tech companies, I ask, why do you want to go to a Harvard and get lost into a shuffle? I ask that question. And a lot of it is times because the brand, the cachet is kind of like, you know what? I need to wear that Louis Vuitton, or I need to have the Jordans and all that other shit. I've never been one of these type of people. I want to go to a place that I can fit in and make a contribution and feel valued, not be in a place where I'm one of 200,000. I've never worked for a major company. And that's the reason why, because I wanted to understand the impact that I can make. Doesn't mean you don't have the skills or the talent to do so. You just find your home somewhere else. My home is in a smaller home. I don't need to have a big home like that, right? But layoff freezes will unevenly affect different sectors. There's a slowdown in big tech, travel, healthcare, finance. They're taking advantage of this. Every laid off tech worker has a job waiting on them inside the United States or elsewhere. Remote work since 2020. It's all there, guys. It's all there. What they're talking about now, some are literally saying, guys, that some leaders are saying this. They're happy that this is happening. They're happy that this is happening. Sometimes you need to get rid of the fat. Sometimes you need to slim down. Sometimes you've been eating too much, like I've been eating too much this last 2 weeks. You know what? Came home, I said, I need to reset. Do a reset. And that's what these companies are doing. They need to do a reset. Sometimes that's healthy. A reset it's good. You find yourself out on the road, eating out every single night. You need to get back to your diet. Companies are like, all right, making these big dollars. There may be some massive turmoil in the future. Need to get back to my diet. Layoffs. Okay? So now you know, guys, tech is still for you. What's happening? These major companies overhired. What's happening is there's a shortage of tech workers in the world. You still have the ability to get into tech, and you still should get into tech. Okay? You still should get into tech. No reason for you to not do so. All right, we're going to talk about something that I wanted to discuss real quick. Good attrition. What is such a thing as good attrition? There's no such thing as good attrition. But if you think about it, you know, when you hire so many people, a whole bunch of people, like some of these big tech companies did, you know, for every 5 employees that you bring in, there's always going to be a 1 or 2 that just doesn't live up to the expectation, right? Well, Microsoft is saying, and they're talking to the managers, with these layoffs, this is a good opportunity for us to push out underperforming employees. Yo, some of you have quiet quitted, just doing the basic minimum. These companies are like, time for you to go. These managers in these companies were asked to identify employees for exits who would otherwise be put on performance coaching. If you're struggling in your role, you're working for some of these big companies, you may be on your way out the door. If you're struggling in your role and you're not working for a big company, you may be on your way out the door. If you want to fix it, you need to book a coaching session. Book a coaching session with Black Heights. www.blkheights.com. Black Heights Coaching has helped a lot of people to advance their career, to shape up, to make more money. Book a coaching session. But some managers were asked to identify employees for exits who would otherwise be put on performance coaching. If you have been put on a PIP, more than likely you're going to be laid off. Microsoft spokesman Frank X. Shaw said performance-based exits might be something a team or a manager is doing, but it's not a company-wide guidance or strategy. Some managers have been asked to nominate employees for exit in January, February, and March, the person said. The timing aligns with Microsoft's stated plans to cut employees through its fiscal third quarter, which ends in March. The layoffs will help Microsoft accelerate performance management for employees, the company deems good attrition. They're calling it good attrition. We talked about this before. We talked about the quiet quitting, all the people who were collecting paychecks, going on YouTube and TikTok talking about how much money they were making in tech and doing the basic minimum. These guys are out, looking for a new role right now. And more than likely, what's going to happen is they're going to find one. They're going to find one. And I think what will also happen is that a lot of people won't put a lot of weight working for these big tech companies anymore, at least in the short term. Because they will hire and hire and hire and suck up all the top talent. And they could do that because of the brand, perks, and so forth. And then when things aren't looking as good, they're the first ones to lay people off. Why not work for a company that's a smaller, where you can feel value? You can do more, you can grow more, you can make more money. You can have a sense of purpose. Consider that, guys. Consider that. All right, we're going to talk about one other topic here. Software CEO says it's kind of excited about an upcoming recession for these 4 reasons. This is big because we've discussed when there's economic downturn, what ends up happening is there's opportunities for companies to be creative. And during the economic recession, what do you typically see? You see new companies being born. So there's going to be a huge opportunity for startups to be born. Mass layoffs of all these people in tech who's had an opportunity to taste how these big companies are working. They're like, I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to be laid off anymore. I want to take the bull by the horns and run my own company and build my own company. I work with some of the smartest people who've been laid off as well and said, let's go into business together. A potential for startup boom. Prince predicted that mass layoffs and hiring freezes might force driven and ambitious people to get creative with their careers. I think you will see a really interesting crop of new, cool startups get built out of this time by people who, right in the particular minute, are freaked out and scared. Not quite sure what they're going to do because the path they're on didn't work out. Prince pointed out to his own company, Cloudflare, which is born out of the 2008 recession. Check it out. If a recession happens, more startups. All these layoffs, believe me, that's going to create some startups. You're looking to get into tech? That's another opportunity for you to work at a startup, to do more. It might be a good time to invest. Prince says big money investors tightening their purse strings for a fear of a recession could create an investment opportunity for others. All the VCs are pulling back and capital is getting pulled out of the market. This is definitely a time you want to invest. Whether that's someone who's investing in a new venture or whether that's us making sure that we look across our team and say, okay, we know who the people are really, who the people that are great, where we can put them, where we can pay them more. You can invest in employees, you can invest into companies and so forth. This is an opportunity, another opportunity for companies to become more efficient, they're saying. A lot of these companies that were hiring all these people, I'm going to tell you like this, were they any more efficient? Probably not. Probably not. Now companies are saying we're going to let go of these people. We need to get back to the basics. You saw Twitter doing that. Let's get back to the basics. Let's let go of a lot of these people that were overweight. Let's make our processes more efficient. And the last thing is, people believe that the strongest talent are hired during a recession, or the strongest talent are recognized during the recession as well, too. As has happened to me, we've got quietly hired. Well, if you take on more, you get paid more. You are given opportunities to bring in other people to help you out. Your talent is being recognized. When you do get an opportunity to bring in people, you're going to vet them very well. The Cloudflare CEO says, Prince pointed out that CEOs of some of the biggest tech companies started in lower roles as those companies during the economic downturns, including the current CEO of Apple, Google, and Microsoft. They were in lower roles, but they rose up the ranks by taking on additional responsibilities. I look at Cloudflare, and we're about 3,500 employees, but the people we're hiring today are going to be the people who, when someday I've decided to retire, which is still a long ways out, will be able to run the company. They look for those people who are bought in. They look for those people who are a great company culture fit. They look for those people who are going to ask for more and do more. So it's not all bad, guys. It's not all bad. I'm going to do something now. Let's jump over to the chats. I've been talking enough, and I hit the majority of the topics today that I wanted to talk about. Brother Paul Healy, thank you for the $20. Super chat. Thanks for all the guidance, getting the gig off the ground. Talk soon. Absolutely. Brother Paul is crushing it, guys. I'm going to tell you like this. Brother Paul came into this year and said, I'm going to make some money. I'm going to look into how I can do more for myself and my family. We've talked a number of times, and he said, you know what? Antoine, 2023 is the year that I'm going to go. And he's running. He came out of the gates like a strong horse. Running. I'm trying to keep up with him. Aston James, thank you for the $10 super chat. I'm with Damien. Hit that like button. Salute, Black Heights, showing some support for you and the channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, Brother Aston. Brother Damien from the country says, bring the like button. Bang that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Journey to Jasmine. Journey to Jasmine. Let's talk about Miss Journey to Jasmine. I appreciate the $9.99 super chat. Keep speaking the truth to tech. Tech has changed my life in so many ways. Peace and thanks. We're going to have Journey to Jasmine on this show. I met Journey to Jasmine, Miss Jasmine, at our sister Erica's event that she had last year. Me and Brother Damien was there. I had a small conversation with our sister Jasmine. She was talking to me about how she was in sales and, at the time, and it wasn't a great fit for her. I said, let's take it out. Let's talk about this. There's opportunities that you can take control over your career. We had a great conversation that night. And I was sharing with her about the SDR role and so forth, and the opportunities, if she crushes it, that she's going to have to advance, even when the position at this point in time may suck. A lot of the times we go into these positions thinking that it's going to be the long term. So people fail out early. They fail out early. Right? They get into a position like sales. Oh, you know what? I'm so excited to get into sales. They get into it and say, oh man, you know what? Like, I'm so happy about being in the SDR role. Then they go through the battle, the challenges of getting rejected, of then getting hung up on. And although they're making more money than they ever have, they're like, maybe this isn't for me. What do I say to those individuals as a coach? I say this: stick it out, learn, continue to grind, because you're going to grow. And one day it's just going to snap. It's not going to be 3 years. It's going to be 1 year, 1.5. Then you're going to be that much better than you were. Then all the sucky stuff that you used to do, you're not going to have to do that anymore. And you're going to make more money. You're going to continue to climb the ladder. Then you're going to climb the ladder again, and all that extra shit that you didn't like, you're going to maybe not have to do anymore, but you're going to have some stuff that you really do like. Stick it out. And when I had a conversation with Jasmine, I was telling her about my YouTube channel, and a lot of times where people don't just stick it out. I wouldn't have been here in front of you today if I wouldn't have stuck it out. Yeah, early on when you're doing videos and you're creating videos, nobody's watching that shit, no matter how much time you put into it. But if you stick it out, and eventually it's going to click and you're just going to grow. No different than you in your career. And Jasmine, she's been growing, crushing it. New sales role. Making that big money. Continuing to level up. Taking her career in her own hands. Gaining the skills, getting the training that she needs. Absolutely crushing it. We're going to have Miss Jasmine on the show. You have Tech IT Support, another one who's been crushing it this year as well, too. New cybersecurity job. Head down. Kev Tech and I have plans for 2023. As soon as he gets his role that he's currently in, he gets comfortable in that role and he has some extra time outside of the work, we're going to do some really cool stuff in 2023 with another individual who's crushing it. The money is out here, guys. The money is out here. I'm going to tell you like this. The money is out here. And it doesn't cost a lot. It doesn't cost a lot. You sign up for something like Course Careers, it's only $500. But if you're making, $40,000 a year, you can be making $80,000 with a $500 investment. If you're already in sales and you're looking to get to that bag to make more, check out Level Careers. If you're looking to get into IT, check out Brother Kev Tech IT Support, or Brother Master IT certifications, less than a college degree. Brother Master IT's courses is going to get you the certifications that you need. Check them out. If you're looking to get into sales engineering, check out our brother Paul. If you're looking to be coached and mentored to be a project management professional, check out our brother Damien. It's all there. If you're looking to be a part of a community that's going to help you grow, you're going to have contacts that you can work with to build your own business, but also to help yourself level up and that you can give in and pour into as well. Join the Black Heights Patreon. Fantastic community. Fantastic community. Scorpio Retro, $9.99. I appreciate it, brother. I've been taking your advice, big bro. I am meeting with Della Pittman tomorrow to discuss strategies for completing course careers and employment planning. You are the best, bro. I appreciate it. You know what? Tomorrow I'm going to be talking to Miss Della as well, too. I'm telling you like this. The network is out here, guys. The network is out here. There are people who are in positions that you want to be in. All you need to do is connect with them. If you want to have life-changing success in your career, the people are already out here. All you need to do is connect with them. But you also have to put in the damn work. Listen. Put your head down. Step on the gas. Come up when you need to refuel. When you come up, you're going to have a whole wealth of knowledge that you can start pouring into other people and sharing that knowledge and ultimately make money from off of it. You can do that. Now, I was early on when TLA first came out, the lead attorney, he was talking about how everybody should have a YouTube channel. I think about that in 2023. YouTube channels are for people and can be for you if you are a knowledge source, if you want to make extra money, if you want to start your own business, podcast, writing a book. All this stuff is available for you guys. It doesn't have to be just the corporate stuff, because the corporate stuff, like Mr. Paul said at certain times, you get bored with it easy. So he says, you know what? I'm going to put it in my own hands. I'm not going to get bored if the stuff that I'm going to be doing on the side I'm passionate about, and then it's bringing me money and I'm able to help people. Think about that in your career as well, too. What is it that you need to fulfill yourself and to feel satisfied every single day? I get advancements. I take on a lot of responsibility in the workforce, but nothing gives me the pleasure of getting up on a Saturday morning, having these conversations with you all, but also hearing from individuals and how they continue to grow within their career because of something they've heard from me, or something that they believed, or somebody that they spoke with. I got a cousin right now who I spent some time with over the last week, and he's an elevator mechanic, making a good amount of money. He's like, AJ, tell me more about this tech sales that you've been talking about. I said, Jordan, this is it. He's like, you know what? This is the path that I'm going to go in. I need to do more. I have 2 kids. The max that I'll be able to make one day, unless I start my own business as an elevator mechanic, is maybe 180. He says, this tech stuff is interesting. I always love people, love to help people and solve problems. He said, what do you suggest? I said, go ahead, sign up for course careers. Sign up for level careers. What if you don't use it? Okay. It's still going to help you be able to be a better salesperson, present yourself better. But he's going to use it. He's going to leverage it to become a tech sales rep and to grow in his career. All these tech layoffs that's happening right now, you're not going to hear a lot about salespeople being laid off. You're not. It's not going to happen, especially if you're performing. Salespeople are getting more opportunities, more perks, because it's getting harder to sell. And if you do sell, you're going to make more money. You're going to get more opportunities. Let's get it, guys. Let's get it. That's all I have for you guys today. I want you guys to have a good rest of your weekend. I'm going to spend some quality time now with a good brother, a good family of ours that we haven't seen since 2022. I want you guys to continue to push forward, guys. You got the programs that are out there. Some free, some not free. You got the people that you want to be like in front of you. All you need to do is put yourself in a position. Join the Patreon. Sign up for Course Careers. Sign up for Master IT. Sign up for Kev Tech IT Sport. Book a coaching session with Brother Damien. Book a coaching session with AI Me. You want to get it? Artificial intelligence, learn more about that world of chat, GPT, and all this other stuff interests you? Book a coaching session with AI Me. Go and visit his channel. Fantastic channel. Him and I are going to be doing a collaboration on Friday. I'm thinking next Friday. We'll work that out this week. But I'll tell you this, that is interesting technology right now. I am fascinated by it. And if you have an interest in it, there's a career path for you there as well. No excuse not to get to this money, guys. No excuse not to get to this money. 2023, let's change it. Let's do more. And until next time, y'all. Peace. Yo, we here. Nene, welcome to the chat. Brother Cruz in the house. Hi, when did the live start? We started today, 10:30 Central. You know what? My live streams are going to be a little bit later on Saturdays because of the fact that, guys, my son has basketball. So no longer 8:30s right now until basketball season is over. Then I'll get back to earlier time. Journey to Jasmine's in the house. I appreciate you, Dr. Virginia. Great word and advice. Stick it out, guys. Hell yeah, you got to stick it out, man. The pain and suffering only lasts for a short amount of time. Scorpio Retro, let's get to this money. Suave says, wow, I literally applied to Cloudflare a few weeks ago. Let's go. UK investors in the house. Don't you just love this shit, man? I do.